Hello and welcome back to our channel where we speak all about futures. It's a technical analysis and the simplicity of actually trading. I actually have an amazing mentor that been trading for a very long time, and he's sitting down in Manhattan in a very large firm that he's learning from a lot of also great traders. And I was fortunate enough to find him, to hire him, to mentor me, to teach me everything about trading and the simplicity of analyzing the charts and the boring thing of it to actually be able to do very well for the long term. It's about how long we are alive within the game. Okay, so what I will do, I will go right into ZL1 explanation mark ticker, which will be basically soybean oils futures, and we will dive right into it. Okay, so I will talk about also what type of compensation we get with that, and other things that will be important with that analysis. So basically, what we want to do, first thing first, it's really understand, okay, how much each tick will give us as a reward, which that's not as important to us, but what's more important is that we understand if it's physical delivery, okay, or if it's cash delivery, so settlement wise. Okay, so first thing first, we want to go to the resource schwab.com/future/future markets, and then look for ZL, and then it will show you that as soybean oils ZL ticker, you basically will be able to do it on think and swing, and it's basically moves. For each tick you get $6, and it's 1 cent a tick. So basically each dollar will be worth $600 for you, and you will be getting a physical delivery of that product. Okay, so it's important. Why it's important to know? We need to know exactly when the actual contract or lot will be expiring, so we are exiting within a timely manner, so we don't all of a sudden get a knock on our door with a whole soybean type of oil at our house. Unless you're in a business of a need for it, I don't know if you will want that. Okay, so what we want to do, it's first thing first, we want to do analysis on a weekly or a monthly period. Okay, and just look for trend lines. So you can see that this trend line actually been respected very well. And if you look at it from, let's an example, I will take that and I just will hide that for a minute. Like this, you will not really see that it's going, in a straight line of a trend line. Okay, so when you put that, you will be able to actually see it, and that's why we have those tools. Okay, so first thing we want to see that. Why? Because when it will revisit wherever it is going to be, so then we are going to be able to know as one confirmation to go short. There is actually two confirmations already that you can look as on a higher time frame. Okay, we are looking at the trend line. Okay, which I can put this trend line endpoint here. Okay, you can double click here, go to styles, and then extend to left line. You can remove that, so you don't need that. Sometimes you will want to do, if you're doing in between the chart, and then you want to see if it's hitting anywhere else, so you can use that too. Okay, and then we want to see if we have a trend line from the bottom, which we might, but it's with much of a smaller type of slope. So you have it here, right? You do have it here, but it's very, very, very small type of a slope. Okay, actually not exactly. We can go to this line. Okay, so you can say that we have a little bit here, but not so much. Okay, And what's important for us is that, it's closer to the price range. Like this one is fine. This one is very far. Can we continue, keep that? For sure we can, but it might not be, something that is practical for, shorter term. So you might want to wait a couple of weeks for it to work out. Not always, but maybe. Okay, this one is not good for us. We're just checking trend lines. Okay, so trend line here, we can see that somewhere within this lane we have support and resistance right there. Okay, so we do see that there is a great support and resistance on a weekly base. So what we can see, and you can see here how it's respect that multiple of times as well. Okay, so it's great, meaning you look at it on a shorter time frame and then a larger time frame, meaning back in days, okay, or in months. So we have that one, and then let's look here. We have this one as well. That is great. Okay, so you can see 1, 2, 3, and then here 4, 5, 6, and then it breaks below. So it's a good 2 lines of resistance. You can see here as well, okay, that it's been well respected over the long period of time. And then on the bottom, we can have this one here. Okay, so we have this one here. Okay, so how we find those areas of support and resistance, which we also know as key levels, is basically every time you will see it hit on multiple levels. Okay, and then what you can see on a daily basis, how it's respecting it or not, to gauge more interest for that level. Okay, so obviously, if it will hit here, that will be very strong confirmation to short, but it's not going to happen anymore. Okay, so we might be seeing some type of a more sell-off continuation to here, and then it will come somewhere here. If it does, that will be like ideal. So we will be able to sell off here. So basically, we want to see something along this line that it touch this support and resistance and come to this area, and then we will see more of a sell-off that is more aggressive. Okay, that's great. 1 point. Then what we want to do, we want to start looking for supply and demand. Okay, so supply and demand. So how we do that is we always say we want to remember those 3 things, which is location. Okay, actually, before we even dive into that, what we need to understand is the amount of hours that the market is open. So it's open, it's only not open for how many hours? 40 minutes, and then from 2 to 7, 6, 7, 5 hours, 40 minutes, 5 hours and 40 minutes. So what we want to do, it's 24 hours minus 5 hours, and then 19, so 18 minutes, 18 hours and 20 minutes, so 18 times 60, it's 1080 plus what is it, plus 20, right? I believe yes, plus 20. So it's 1100 divided by 2, 550. This is the zone that we will want to look for as well. Okay, so let's see, 550. Let me just write that here. So I don't all of a sudden forget and then think, wait, let me do the math again. So 550, this is the next zone that we want to look for as well. So we do see that we have a zone right here. I mean, a potential zone right here. Okay, so on a daily basis, the VIC is more to the downside. Okay, and here you can see we had balanced to imbalance, right? And again, balanced, a bit of balance to imbalance. So those are the ones that we really want to capitalize on. Okay, so let's continue and look here. 6 hours. We have this one not so good. The baseline and the candle following that very similar. We have this one, but not good with the location. We had this one, but location also is not as good. But look, it's worked out very well. Um, Worked out very well, and this will be one of the things that we want to pay attention to. Did that work out because we have this larger candle, VIC candle on the top, or what exactly it is that it's worked out very well here? But also for you to understand, it didn't work out right away. It took basically from June 20th at 8 a.m. to basically June 25th. So basically that's like 5 days for that move to occur. So it's very important to have patience in this game. Okay, so we have this one that not to our interest. Let's look at the 4 hours. 4 hours more greater, however, not the best for us. When we have one like this that is dodgy, it's not exactly the one that we want to look at the as much because it's not really firming for us the what you call this the zone. Okay, so you want to be careful from that. However, we can we can highlight that just for now for the sake of it, so we know where we're looking, and then figure out if it somehow will work for us. Okay, um, so let's see now. We go to 3 hours. You see there is one here that worked out. This one is not bad actually too, but the location I don't like so much. Okay. So then we have again this one. Wow, there is so many zones within that one. It's crazy. Hours. No, no, 2 hours. No, no. Ooh, look at this. This one has a 1 hour that still didn't work out so much. So you know what I want to do? I want just to highlight that for the sake for a moment because it's worked the first time. And many times what we will see, it will come to retest and we think, okay, it's retested. But in theory, there is another zone that now it touches the beginning of that new zone. So just for this sake, okay, there is the 1 hour and then there is the 6 hours. So I want to highlight that for a moment, which actually all I will do that. Okay. And I will write here 6 hours. And I will write here used. Okay, so I know that it's used even if it touches when I don't see this candle already. So then we go to the 550, which is the exact half of the zone, I mean of the time period that the the market is open. And as you can see right now, I'm just looking for the sell opportunity, not the buy. So we'll get to that after. So right now there is nothing. I don't want to look way too high, because if that would be the case, then most likely it would break through the trend line. So I don't know if we would be looking for a long at this point. Mhm. Let's see something. Mhm. Let's see something. So I do see that there is a 50% Fibonacci retracement in that 5 hour zone. I mean 4 hour zone, which is very good to see, because you can see here it's respected multiple of times. So that's good, very good for us actually. Okay, so we keep that in there. So we basically have like already one, two, three confirmations right here. Okay, so that's a very good sign. Let's continue looking. So this is also the 90 minutes. So we don't need to really look for more zones of quality here. What we need to look is for zones, uh, 90 minutes. Ooh, uh, 90 minutes. Ooh, wow. So you see this 90 minutes actually just worked recently, and it was greatly tested, greatly. So let's go and look for new zones within the bottom. If by mistake all of a sudden you moved, all you have to do is Control Z. So from the middle one. You know, it's interesting. The candles here are so much smaller than the candles in here. Very crazy. That's not so much for us. Let's see what they. Okay, one. We have this weekly. Let me see. This one is 0.44 and this one 5. So we take that. Weekly. We have a dog barking, but we focus at what we have to do. So this is weekly time frame. It's very good. In fact, that if anything, we can definitely take it to this lower of the candle, so we can stretch a bit, but we will not do it just for now. Okay. No daily. Let's see, 0.72. So this one is not bad too. Hmm. So you see here, it said that they 12 hours, touched here again 12 hours and went up. And we have here a nice formation. So I potentially, we want to have this also daily. And what we want to make sure that we do, we want to go and change that to green color. Okay. And then we will stretch it to make sure that it's easier for us to stretch, make it a bit larger and drag it. Okay. No problem. So now we have this weekly and we have the daily. So what happened? All of those zones are quality zones, right? But at the end of it, we will be looking at which one we want to keep and from which one we want to have a plan of trading. Okay, is it from the bottom weekly, or is it from the daily, or is it from none of them? Okay, so first thing first, we want to analyze, but we're not taking trades solely based on that. Okay. So now we continue here. Did we check the 550? We have this also as a 550, which actually it's almost even better. In a way, it's pretty much the same. Hey, Max, come say hi to everybody. This is Max. Say hi. He is a very good friend of mine. He's always going with me for walks. I'm going with him for a walk. And he is sometimes barking. So if you hear a dog barking in the background, it's Maxime. That's Max, right, Max? You're barking for us. Okay, so you want to sit here with us for a bit, but just don't touch anything. We're planning trades. Opa, he jumped off. So we're moving on. 550, similar to, I believe it was the 12 hours, right? It's daily and half a day. Let me see. $12 daily and 550. So it's pretty good. Like when you see things like that, you can either note it or you just can, kind of know that this area has multiple. That's it. Like you don't really need to note all of it, because at the end you need to know the one that has the best formation, and that's the one you're really going after. So you see there is another one right here. Do you want to mark that little one? No, but just know it for yourself. There is this one, but it's in the middle of the move from here to there. Now you might say, well, this is also, but what happened? It's in the middle move, then correction, higher correction, and that's where it happened, right? So here, what happened? Where was that? Here. So it's in the middle of that move. If it was right here, different story, possible, but it's not. Okay. So by the way, today I was watching Brian Proctor, the son of Bob Proctor. He went out of his comfort zone and he started to make videos, which he never thought he will. He, he's in the marketing world. He's been always in the marketing, and he started to share some stories of how his dad, Bob Proctor, was teaching him and showing him how to really become better in his own life. So he decided to put together a program about that. Really highly recommended. Um, to if you want, check it out. I'm not promoting him or affiliate with him or get any type of sponsorship for that or whatever, like commission for that. I'm just saying that overall, I think he's a great guy and will be great to learn from him a lot of different things to do with his experience. Okay, so let's continue here. There is not really much more. I mean, yeah, there is this, but it's within the zone, so I don't care. And you might potentially look at something like that. Okay, if you just want to kind of scalp and trade a few more trades, but we are looking for the highest setup. So let's look for that. Also, for the fact that we understand that it's $600 point, which is $1. What happened with my chart? So with some charts, just FYI, okay, with some charts, you see, you will have no full data on smaller time frame to the past, unless you have like a most premium package, then you potentially will have it. But it's important to understand that it's okay if it's not. Okay, nothing to worry about. All you want to do, let's say in this case here, okay, is corrected. Okay, so here we can either correct it or just put a channel. I will leave it the way it is because I don't really care about this little one. I will, regardless, give it some cushion on top of that trend line for correction in the event of it not working out for my favor. So we have the daily, we have the and we have the what you call the weekly. Okay, so I will keep at that for now. Then what happening? We have a few nice trend lines. So what happened? I want to go from this top trend line to this bottom trend line. Wow, the top trend line to the bottom trend line, it's within the 1 hour zone of of our supply, which is crazy. Um, the same thing with the 4 hours from this trend line. So that's very, very crazy and interesting that it's worked that way. So that's even better area for us to short in the event that that will happen. Okay, so also the risk to the reward is very good and limited for us. So what we will look to do is basically short from this area here, okay, with very, very minimal risk to the reward. Very, very minimal risk, I should say. I can actually give it so much risk like that. And okay, so one, two, yes, good. So that would be roughly our trade if we're looking for the short. Now, why? Let's look at it and let's understand. So what we are seeing here, we are seeing that we have the 1 hour that still was not touched, okay? The 6 hours was used already. So its potential will go to a higher within the 6 hours and most likely will retest the 1 hour. Then what we see, there is the 50% Fibonacci, second confirmation. Third confirmation that we're making higher lows. So we're making higher low on the high picture, okay? And then the third one, we are basically having at the start of this zone, 45 psychological number. Now, I'm pretty certain, but I will check about that. I will ask my mentor if I can do a comparison of soybean oil to crude oil and to other oils, and then what I will do, I will just see based on percentages if there is a zone by 2.5 or 2.10%, a zone at crude oil and other oils that have to do in the futures as well, because as you can see, this symbol is oil, right? And then you can see here it's also oil, and then we have also BZ oil, right? So all those oils potentially, I'm not saying for sure, but potentially can come as confirmations, okay? So we can use that. Also, another very strong confirmation, if we look at a high time frame, it goes within the trend of down, okay? So because it's on a trend going lower, we have higher probabilities to sell, okay? So you can see for shorting, we'll have higher probabilities. So that's very, very important, okay? So this would be our plan, okay? Those are a couple of confirmations that I told you right there. Overall, let's look at that also having the short, okay? And let's just see something. At 2%, 2 and 10% almost, right? So we have a daily, what you call this, zone as well. That's number one. Number two, if let's say an example, oh, sorry, my mouse dropped here. If let's say an example, we get there, oh shoot, okay, well, right there. If let's say an example, we get here anywhere between July 15th to July 18th, then it's going to hit the zone and the what you call this the trend line. Also, we have here an important key level. Why it's important to understand this key level? Because what will happen most likely, we will have a very sharp move to the up and then aggressive drop. And if the VIX it's within this area, then it's another very strong confirmation that we are right with that support and resistance key level. So look here. Okay, touch goes down, touch goes down, touch goes down, and every time the same thing here. Touch goes up, touch goes up. So it's very, very important. Here you see like it's the price was going up, coming back to it and respecting it, and not just running away like that. So it's created one day like that, and then you see had rally or whatever. Like these areas are respected. So it's super, super, super important to understand that and figure out on that. So what I will do to make sure that all of a sudden we don't, run out of this area, I will take this and I will create this 4 hours, okay, um, as alert. Now, what I actually recognize today, so I'm sharing that with you, when you are going to create, um, when you're going to create, okay, this trade, okay, alert, you want to make sure that you pick the date that is as much as possible in the future, okay, because you can, if you have premiums, right, you can check this and then you don't need to worry, it will go until it hits. But for me there were multiple alerts that it just expired, and I didn't take the trade because of that. So this way, when it hits, you will see it, and you can right away go into your confirmations. So what I can do here, I can write my confirmations, and also know that I have to check the CL with the ZL if that's the case. I will just reconfirm about that, and I will fill you in another video about that if that's correct or not. Okay, but this is pretty much on my analysis for the ZL. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know about that in the descriptions below. We will also put for you other resources. If you have anything that you'd like us to look into, to explain better, to really be more detailed about, please feel free to share with us what it is exactly, and we will be here to give you that information. What I just wanted to see, yes. So this is basically it for now. Thank you for watching. My name is Avi Aronov, and I'm looking forward to see you in the next one, analyzing other amazing futures trades, if it shares, if it stocks, just so we can capitalize on it together. By the way, any trades that you are taking, it's at your own risk. I'm doing it for my own sake of analyzing and really diving in to understand certain things that I might do as mistakes. I not recognize for myself, so I'm recording everything to be as transparent as possible with you and myself for my own journey. So it's pretty much for my own, entertainment sake of doing it. But of course, if I can benefit a couple of you or even one of you to capitalize on that, I will be very greatly rewarded for my own sake. So thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next one.